think that the reality of it is if you've tried to stop and you sort of yo-yoed and you've stopped and started and stopped and started, never really been able to really put it down. If you know you have a problem or you suspect you might have a problem and you've never been able to quit on your own, it's time. Mm-hmm. It's time. It's absolutely time. And here's what I'll say about that. It's scary when you start that. It is so scary. So scary to walk in the door at Burn Boot Camp for the first time. It's scary to get help professionally. It's scary to address problems that you know you have. There's freedom in that. There is such freedom in that. And it's hard to say this because people will say, yeah, but my situation is different, or, you know, you have this going on. And I know every situation is different, but the freedom and the joy I feel today, you know, I can't imagine life the way it used to be. I get to live this life now. I'm so grateful. I'm so thankful. I love the way that I feel every day. I was in a fog and I had no idea I had been in a fog all these years. And once I stopped drinking and I was about 60 days, 90 days in, it was an amazing feeling of big plans are coming. I'm making big plans. I'm making big moves. I see clearly for the first time in a long time. And I can't believe I got to live this wonderful life today. So I would never have been able to do the things that I've done in the last 5 years if I was still in active addiction. No way, no chance. And I'm grateful for it not being part of my life anymore. Yeah, it's a scary thing. Mm-hmm. You're worried you're going to lose your friends. You're worried that you're going to be alone, that you're not going to have the same life that you have. It's just hard to take that first step. I know it, but if you know that you're somebody who has been struggling with this, I pray that you will take that step and get the help, because I promise you there's a wonderful life on the other side of this.
So you're saying if you're thinking about that you might need help, you probably need help.
Yeah. If you've been around contemplating, I wonder if I have a drinking problem for a number of years or months or whatever it is, it's time.
And so you just dove right in to counseling and AA, and then Burn was a part of your journey somewhere in there. Unpack, counseling and AA and how you really got into Burn, and maybe we can go into alcoholism is your lifestyle, right? Yeah. It was my father's lifestyle, his father's lifestyle, my uncle's lifestyle. It was the lifestyle. And, when you, much like my analogy to this is when I stopped playing baseball full time, I had this huge void in my heart. Like it was my lifestyle. Yeah. And then I didn't have the lifestyle anymore. And it's just like, what do I fill this big void with? And it seemed like a lot of the questions around friendship, around, is this going to be good for me? All the scary things you were mentioning, that a lot of that was fulfilled by your counselor that you grew in a great relationship with, by AA, by Burn Boot Camp. And so just tell me how this process went for you as you've gone through these 3 treatments.
Yeah. Yeah. So I would love to say that, there was a moment where I started going to counseling and, I started working out at the same exact time and, never went back. But the timeline here is that I started going to counseling and I was trying to figure out what this new world looked like. And I was very, I never could get comfortable. I'm thankful that my counselor never let me get arrogant about my sobriety or what I had accomplished. And it seemed like every time I was talking to her and I had reached some milestone, 90 days, she'd say, yeah, the next 3 months is not looking good. The probability is not good that you'll remain sober. So she always sort of moved the goalpost on me. And I'm thankful for that because she wanted me to have that mentality that you can't get too comfortable with this. It's still a long journey ahead. And you're not, you're set, you're going to feel like you can accomplish everything and you're never going to drink again, but it's been very, very short amount of time, and just stay focused on it. So for the first 7 or 8 months of going to counseling, I was still I hadn't started burn yet, right? So I started let me go back. I started with burn in July of 2018. Okay. So I was drinking still, but going to burn, but I wasn't drinking as much during the week because I was going to an afternoon camp. And so I started counseling in May of 2019. Okay. And what's interesting about that though is burn was already in place. This infrastructure is in place. This community was already in place. So when you take away alcohol from an alcoholic, you better give them something else. You better, because they have an addictive personality. They're gonna find something. And so burn became that new addiction for me. And boy, am I thankful that that community was surrounding itself around me, that community was there, that I had that to dive into. I jumped into those workouts. Those first 7 or 8 months of working out, I was still drinking. My workouts were fine. I was getting results and I was starting to lose weight and I was starting to feel better about myself. But here's the thing. Because I started kind of getting results and started feeling better about doing this, I really feel like that's what gave me the confidence to take that bigger step of going to counseling and really addressing the problem. I don't know how to say it, but like, it's just, you walk in the door at burn, okay, but I'm still kind of drinking here. I'm like, I know I need to do something. And you're really thinking that the problem is that you're heavy or that it's health. But you don't really want to address the drinking problem because that's fun, right? I don't want to give that up. That's my blanket. That's my security blanket. But those two things can't really exist because as you get more confidence and as you feel stronger and better about yourself and continue to address the problem, then it just gives you the confidence to really, really think about what's going on in your life. And I'm grateful that burn. So I'm never bashful about this. I've said it before. I'll say it to anybody who listens to me. I'm so thankful for Burn Boot Camp and the role it played in my life because I do feel like it saved my life. I do feel, and I don't say that to be dramatic, I do feel like it saved my life because if I didn't have that infrastructure in place, I don't know that I would have been able to remain sober. Even though I was trying to be vigilant, I don't know that I would have remained sober because I dove right into it. It was there and I could jump right into those workouts and that community and just fell in love with it. And
when you were done drinking on May 5th, did you go to camp on May 6th? Did you go to the next week and it was like immediately right there for you to plug the void? Was there any period of time where, the next week, how did you feel after the first probably period of 7 to 10 days when you hadn't had a drink? I mean, were you miserable? Was it tolerable? Were you just so done with it that, you're sick of it? Like, tell me what was hard about quitting? Yeah. I mean, it was like, but it was like a new page had been turned. It was a new focus and I was already starting to go to burn. But then what happened was once I stopped drinking, I'll tell everybody this, they've heard me say it a lot. If you know me well, the workouts took off. I mean, I got stronger. I got more disciplined, more focused, just more intense with my workouts. I poured everything I had into it. I wasn't sharing anything. It was all about burn and it was all about just getting healthy. And it really took off. Once that was taken away out of my life, it was all about burn at that point. And I just fell in love with it. And just, there weren't days I didn't go. Like it was just it was what I did. I went every day because that's just what I do.